It's kind of difficult. Yeah, I have vampire teeth in. As you remember from part 1, I edited my 2 front teeth. This time around, I was like, I don't want to have to do that. I bought these from my local Halloween store. I just want to keep up with the festive Halloween tradition for the review. Yeah, it's a little difficult to talk with these at times. S's, C's, anything that it makes you go like that. Yeah, so we're on episode 2. Y'all remember what I thought about episode 1, right? Just, But if you don't, and you're new to just blah, 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 these fucking teeth. But if you don't know, go watch the first part, just to familiarize yourself with a few details, and then come back. Or don't, because I don't really think it matters. Episode 2 is just so drastically thin. It's so thin, I don't even really know where to start with this review. So I'll start by describing Bram Stoker's version of events, and then just go from there. Dracula gets in a box of dirt, ships himself to England, gradually takes out the passengers and crew one by one, waits until they get close to their destination, kills the captain, and then skips his happy little ass all the way to England. The end. Simple and clean. Yet somehow Moffat and Gataz managed to stretch one chapter of the 1897 book and a 3-minute scene from the Francis Ford Coppola film into a 1 hour and 25-minute episode. 1 hour? That's a fucking movie. It's a movie. To put it in perspective, like the average movie script is about 117 to 120 pages, and the whole voyage on the Demeter only lasted a few pages in the actual book. Like about 14 to 15 pages were stretched out to 117 to 120 pages. Stretched. Like elastic jeans on Lizzo. Expanding on the lore, completely fine. Good with that. You should want to do something different and add your own little flair to an original story. But they consistently waste this fucking time on these new characters they've added that we don't know or care about, who are then trying in vain to decipher how passengers keep coming up missing. A mystery so fucking simple, even paraplegic cricket bugs could figure it out.
Gentlemen, there is a killer on board. In plain sight. Forgive me. It's the sea makes one, ravenous.
Are you dangerous?
Yes, I am terribly dangerous.
I've always found that too much is exactly enough.
I'm afraid I'm very careful with what I eat.
Me too. But I'm a vampire.
Sorry, what did you say?
I wonder who it could be. Oh my god. So we have a whole new cast of characters. Let's talk about it. The captain, nebbish crew member, fat crew member, boomer crew member, the one who should have been Van Helsing.
There are monsters in this world, Yamini. Creatures that will leave a shadow on your soul. If once you let them in, I will never let them take you. You are placing yourself in league with this creature. We are not stupid, I'm a man of science.
I, however, recognize your brilliance and look forward to consuming it. What's it to be, man of reason? Dead or undead?
I mean, an Indian guy with the last name Van Helsing would have been a bit weird. So what would it be? Van Gupta?
So...
And he has a daughter who's deaf. She does sign language and then kills herself. But anyway, closeted gay guy, his beard, and black gay right hand he's secretly in an affair with. Dear God, describing that is exhausting. The Grandma Duchess, who met Dracula years prior. Now, we learn this from a little yarn about a pineapple.
A pineapple?
I'm not even kidding. She's a rich bitch and she got a fucking pineapple in the middle of winter and whatever. Anyway, she dies. The stuttering Bavarian, the simp, and the mysterious passenger in cabin number 9. Ooh. We'll get to that later. Point is, nobody matters. Not a goddamn motherfucker. Even the show dead-ass admits we're dealing with a gaggle of dead duds.
At sea, one meets an interesting range of characters. I would advise you not to get too attached to any of them.
That's not to say the writers don't try and fail to justify their presence in the story. As we all know from episode 1, Dracula has the ability to absorb intellect, language, skill from human blood. So his grand fucking plan was disguising himself as this guy named Mr. Blower and arranging for these specific people to board this specific vessel so he can feed on any particular skill or intellect they may have. Well, apart from the closeted guy, he's not for skill sucking, just skilled sucking. Apparently, Dracula, aka Mr. Blower, is closeted guy's sponsor / silent partner who, quote, gave him the funds and the position to woo his current beard, his current wealthy beard. Dracula's plan from there was then to woo closeted so he would inherit the money that the beard left to closeted. Why? He's Dracula. Why not just glamour her into giving you the money? Or maybe just seduce her the old-fashioned way? Why does everything have to be so needlessly complicated? What makes his master manipulator shtick so baffling is because of his gluttonous actions and choice of menu, the passengers end up discovering their connection to him very easily.
I'm sure Mr. Blower has his reasons.
Blower?
Yes, my silent partner.
And my sponsor.
But not before our Totes Brills Van Helsing figures it out.
Dracula, a corruption of the Latin Dracul, meaning dragon, in Romanian, Blower. The purpose of an alias seems to have eluded you.
I thought it was clever.
Ah, you'll have to be cleverer than that.
Why? Why draw this much attention to yourself, risking inevitable exposure?
I enjoy company and I like people.
Then why do you kill them?
Why'd you pick flowers?
Decoration and the smell. You gonna say anything of fucking substance, dickhead?
It's 4 weeks to England.
What do you think I was going to do? Lie around in a box?
Oh, these teeth. Oh, and Agatha's the passenger in cabin number 9.
I'm in cabin number 9.
They treat it as if it's this huge reveal, but it's glaringly obvious from the start, considering how the last episode ended. What? Y'all don't flirt over a casual game of chess with the unholy hellbeast that exsanguinated your body in a room shaped like the number 9? Fucking normies. They really think the viewing audience is that dumb. What fucking kills me about this show is that they love to criticize the old iterations of Dracula.
Dracula needs to sleep in a coffin or box containing his own native soil. No idea why. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know if there's any Dracula enthusiasts who are going to sound off in the comments who know why that's a thing. But if you do, I fully encourage it. But holy fucking shit, you got no right. Oh, certain things in the other iterations don't make any sense when your version is a million times more retarded. I mean, what happened to stealthy Dracula? What happened to smart Dracula? It's kind of hard to be a stealthy, shadowy creature of the night. When you spread your alias around to multiple fucking people, walk amongst the passengers that you have manipulated to be there on any occasion possible, with your greatest rival on board who could out you at a moment's notice. In fact, why the fuck didn't she? Like, she's impaired, but she can still talk. She's basically still cognizant. Just, a little weak and impaired. But she can still form words and say things like, that tall guy with the cape who always wears black and is always sinisterly whispering to people? Yeah, you might want to watch out for him. Just an FYI. Sharpen up some steaks, get some garlic together, and waste that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But she does not do that. Because we need to have a third act of just Dracula and Van Helsing together. We need to make the shippers wet. Like, the two actors have chemistry, but the characters do not. There's no fucking reason for them to be cool with each other. I mean, there was one scene where they flash back to the convent.
Cowboy. Suckle.
Like, they're trying to make their relationship all sexy, and I'm like, ugh. I don't like Agatha. I don't see her in that light. She's like your former hippie auntie who fucking teaches at NYU and lectures about critical race theory.
Sucker.
Ew. I want to see her climbing up on Dracula. Who wants to see that? The whole basis around Agatha and Dracula's romantic chemistry is a totally ripped off Twilight of all things. She's got special sexy blood, and that's what makes him attracted to her.
You're exquisite. So much insight, wit, learning. One does not hurry, Such a vintage.
Like, you're so wonderful, Agatha. You're like my favorite bag of Funyuns. So romantic. Speaking of which, we might as well fast forward to the third act. I'm telling you, there's nothing going on in episode 2. There's nothing there. I mean, there's still the fair share of dumb shit. There's one scene, right? They're in a circle of Bible pages. They're all huddled together, but then Dracula pops up. He starts taunting them, trying to make them leave the circle so he can snatch them up and suck them. Well, the black gay dude who is with Closeted, he's in a really volatile state. Dracula preys on that.
Stay inside the circle. Do as you're told. Do as they tell you, as you always do, because that's what you're good at, because you're a servant.
He's a little dirty little weaselly coon.
And okay, that's fine. That's good. We're seeing some Dracula manipulation. But here's where it gets really retarded. The black guy has a gun, and Dracula's egging him on to leave the circle. But the black guy has a gun. All he has to do is stand there inside the circle and shoot him from there. But they're making such a huge deal about this scene. Like, Agatha's behind him like, stay in the circle!
Fine, try and shoot him, but from inside the circle. We must stay strong and united and inside the circle!
And she's right. But, like, the show thinks this should be a thing, an option for the black guy. Like, anyone would be fucking dumb enough to get close to someone to shoot them.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
What? It's a projectile weapon. It shoots bullets. It can shoot something from far away. Why are you getting closer to this mother? Why? Yeah. I know what they're going for with this. He's grief-stricken, so he's not in his right mind. Grief makes you stupid enough to forget you're holding a gun. Also, like, Dracula in that moment could have hypnotized the black guy, but he just didn't. He could have ordered the black guy to shoot himself in the head, you know? Just anything. Fucking anything. Oh yeah, another dumbass thing. They finally believe her that Dracula's a vampire. And like, Van Helsing, like, just in pure Mary Sue feminist fashion, said...
I am Sister Agatha Van Helsing of the St. Mary's Convent, Budapest. Captain Sokolov, you are relieved of command.
What, bitch? I think you need to chill.
Relieved of your command, bitch? What? What makes it even worse is that from here, she doesn't really do anything. She just kind of like sits around and gives orders while the men do everything. And she's not that good of a leader anyway, because despite searching the ship, they didn't notice that Dracula's cabin had a little dirt bed for him to hide and wait.
Sokolov, he's alive!
Sokolov isn't. I fear I may have bolted him.
An educated woman in a crucifix.
She's great, guys. She's great. Just accept it. After Dracula picks off everybody, Agatha and Dracula have a little heart-to-heart on deck. And his whole reason for being afraid of the cross is that he's been sucking on the necks of people who have been oppressed by the religious systems in their region, therefore leading to him absorbing their religious fear from their blood.
Oppression. Your idiot church has terrorized the peasant population for centuries, and I have been imbibing the blood of those same peasants for so long, I have absorbed their fear of the cross.
Touchdown!
Come on! Come on! Come on!
It's not a symbol of virtue and kindness.
You're not smart.
I can't wait to eat some atheists.
I don't think you're smart.
Shut up, you fedora-tipping boomer. Look, I understand that you do not have to write characters in a favorable light. You don't have to agree with the morality of the characters that you write. But that's not what's being done here. The villain is a religion-hating atheist, and the hero is a religion-hating atheist. It's obvious that the writers are inserting their fucking beliefs through these characters. It's so unbelievably transparent, I can't even laugh at it. It seems to be poo-pooing the power of religion. Religion seems to have no bearing on Dracula at all. The cross doesn't work on him. Holy water doesn't work on him. Because religion is basically just an oppressive system filled with violent, ignorant fools. So therefore, our powerful villain is completely impervious to religious practices.
No, I mean, that's all very nice and logical, but...
Like, come on. Come on. Y'all ain't even trying. Y'all not even trying to be covert.
I know when you're lying.
You're trying to draw me into an argument.
She's a woman, man. So basically the plan is they've rigged the Demeter to blow. And Agatha was meant to keep him talking until the ship inevitably explodes. This is the only, like, heroic thing she's done. Like that, and she, like, kind of dropped a lantern on Dracula once. It doesn't change with episode 3. It kind of just stays there, those two things. The ship goes down in a blazing inferno. Dracula managed to get in one of his dirt boxes, and suddenly he just bursts out the box, comes out of the water, and he's right there next to England. Like, okay. Now, it's a good possibility he swam to shore, but then I'd have to fucking ask, why the hell didn't he do that the first time? If he's impervious to drowning, why not, instead of going down with the ship in one of your boxes, just swim to shore, motherfucker? Or you can dematerialize into dozens of bats, like you did in the beginning of the 3rd episode, which we will get to. We will get to that. Suddenly a fucking motorcade pulls up, and modern day Agatha Van Helsing, or so we think. Duh. And then the episode ends, and now we need to talk about episode 3. But this time I think I'm gonna leave it to a reaction. This is a straight up reaction. I'm still going to talk about it here and there because there's a lot to talk about. I couldn't script this. I just couldn't, because I think ranting would be a better option. I just could not script all of the garbage. There's some good ideas, but there's worse ideas. You know what I mean?
I've been dying to meet you.
Oh, could we just skip past that?
Take Mina, lose me.
Lose your dried up ass? Gladly.
You died to save this terrified child.
I'd die to save any terrified child.
Except the terrified children upstairs. We haven't forgotten, motherfucker. You left your whole convent to die. What the fuck you talking about? Fuck you mean?
I am going to make you last.
Give me that leathery neck, bitch.
You'll travel to the new world in my veins.
Come, boy. Suckle.
It's still gross. It's still really gross. It's like watching your grandparents flirt. 1 year later. 2 years later. 3. Fuck it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I've eaten so many religious people that I don't like the cross.
You're a friend of Pop's.
He invited me in.
Okay, like I've always wondered this. How did Dracula get in the fucking house? Like, he said the husband invited him in, but how were you shielded from the fucking sun, motherfucker?
What have you done to my fridge?
Is the fridge the white box?
Yeah.
Pop's in the fridge.
Honey, we don't have any more milk.
Welcome to England, Count Dracula.
How did they know he was there? Apparently they're a part of this organization designed to catch Dracula and study him. But how the fuck did they know that he would suddenly wake up? Look, I'm fine with him being able to photograph, okay? But why aren't any of these motherfuckers wearing protective gear? Their fucking arms are completely exposed. They've got no neck gear. What the fuck? I have a feeling they're gonna regret that in a minute.
May I see that?
Give it to him.
Smile. I'm sure you have a very pretty smile.
What is happening right now?
There. Smile. Drop yours. Drop it.
Yeah? Y'all see this shit? Y'all see this shit?
There. You see, I'm not so bad after all. Smile.
Drop that weapon! Don't shoot him! Do not shoot him!
Okay, so a violent white male is asking a bunch of women to smile. They're just transparent as anything. Oh my god.
Killing is healthy competition. Mercy is disrespect.
And you didn't do that when the ship went down. Why? Why?
You're clearly very wealthy. Well, look at all this stuff. All this food. The moving picture box. And this treasure trove is your house.
Sit down.
Okay, to be perfectly honest, I really like this scene. It's very charming, the fact that Dracula considers this to be high class. Like, he's lived in dank, dark, desolate castles. That was considered, like, wealth, what he was living in. I mean, yeah, depressed wealth, but wealth. And now, like, he sees all this shiny stuff, these blinky things, where you can look at sunsets in a box. Despite him being like this centuries-old nobleman, demonic creature, he's completely enamored with all of this shit. All right, that's a good idea. That's actually a pretty good scene. They just so happen to sneak a whole ass coffin in this person's house just to get him a cell phone. This is so fucking dumb. I love how they wrecked this woman's house just to get his ass. And I bet you they won't pay not one fucking dime to get it repaired.
Hello? Count Dracula?
So you put a hole in this woman's house just to have to go in there and get him anyway?
Okay, I'm coming
You
in.
fucking dicks.
Scared yet?
You went in there unprepared, no stake, no weapon. We're meant to be intimidated by them and impressed that they're so prepared to capture Dracula, but they don't capture Dracula, at least not successfully. And the only reason they capture him is because Dracula so happened to drink her poisonous blood. Yeah, she has cancer, by the way. That's why her blood is poisonous to Dracula. And in this one, we're introduced to Seward and Lucy and the Texan. Not the rich guy, though. Not the guy Cary Elwes played in the 1992 movie.
What in God's name is going on up here?
For some reason, he's just not in here. And honestly, I do like how they integrated some of the story into the modern day. Lucy is an unrepentant thought who craves attention and who's obsessed with social media. I can see the Lucy of 1897 become the Lucy of 2020. Even though the Lucy in 1897, I don't think was a horror.
All time now, big check, big boss. Sky high now, how we gonna drop? Spray with a burst.
Oh my god, is this rap song mixed to the theme of the show? Aww, that's tacky.
Everyone, this is Quincy. He's an American from Texas.
Evening.
Evening. I'm clearly a British actor pretending to be a Texan.
I never asked you what you do. Luce didn't seem sure.
Didn't seem sure. I'm a Texan, by the way.
You've got to wonder if she'd be into me if I wasn't rich. But then, would I like her if she was ugly?
I'm not blatantly foreshadowing any themes that might be addressed later. Wait a minute, is that the fucking gay guy from Cruella? Oh no! This nigga is following me! Oh my god. You'll notice that simping for Lucy is his only character trait. Like, that's it? That's all he does? Oh my god, dude, the pussy couldn't have been that good. Relax.
You weren't drinking.
I don't drink.
Good. Neither does he.
Can you tell when someone's laugh is fake?
Who funds this project? There's gotta be at least a couple billionaires who are bored out of their fucking minds right now.
Another O negative, I see.
Vanilla.
Your blood is so fucking basic, pleb. I mean, he was down there without any fucking food whatsoever, and his skin is perfectly intact, no necrotic flesh, and then they put their fucking bare hands in his mouth! Oh no! How could we possibly predict this would happen? The guy who's just sitting in the water, not really looking like he's asleep at all, wiggling our fingers directly into his mouth. How do we know that would end in disaster?
Why? Why is that there? What is it for? It's a toilet. I'm a vampire. Why have you given me a toilet?
Why were you in a coma? Why didn't you escape the ship by turning into a dozen bats? Why are you so much better in other iterations of this fucking story? Why fucking anything?
You have every book written during your coma and somewhere to sit.
Well, I need more than books, Zoe.
Oh, her name is Zoe. The person who named you needs to be slapped.
Take off your coat and roll up your left sleeve.
Why?
Because I told you to, and I can break you with a sunbeam.
Well, how did you establish that he could be burnt with sunlight? Like, there's no other vampires but him. I mean, he is Dracula, and he was asleep. What? Don't think, Lauren. Just feel.
I'm Dr. Helsing, and I'm the woman in charge of this foundation.
In charge of it?
Oh, of course. I suppose women's rights are just something you slept through.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Women's what? Did you say rights? Nobody has rights, Zoe. Man, woman, or monster. No one, nowhere. It's just a lunatic fantasy.
Oh, never mind. That little piece of dialogue kind of redeemed that other piece of dialogue.
Because you're going to give blood.
Well, this is a first.
Like, why is there romantic tension? Their fucking relationship is more forced than R. Kelly's love life.
I can't seem to penetrate the skin.
Oh, all this fucking preparation, and you didn't figure out even how to pierce his skin? Which means you don't know how to kill him. Or any vampire. What? Why? Why is everything so fucking retarded? Everything is dependent on how Dracula feels about Van Helsing. They were able to catch him because Dracula loves Van Helsing's blood. She was able to distract him while she was blowing up the ship because he loves conversation with this mid-bitch. She was able to keep him away from Mina because he just inexplicably fucking likes her. She has no skill but being edible and his inexplicable like for her. She's literally a Mary Sue. This is Bella Swan levels of bullshit.
This foundation was set up by Mina Murray, his fiancée. Do you remember her?
Yeah, we've seen all that. Stop putting in flashbacks when we know exactly what the hell you're talking about.
I've always approved of inherited power.
'Cause he's a white man. Mina, one of the most prominent characters of the Dracula lore, started an entire anti-Dracula foundation and somehow kept the Van Helsing ancestors involved throughout the centuries. And instead of following that plot line, we're cursed with this shit? That's way more interesting! What the?
I know mercenaries when I see them. Who's funding this place?
Yes, my question exactly.
Because people who can afford mercenaries are very rarely interested in medicine.
Facts.
I'm giving you everything. Blood is lives.
Life.
Everything is in the blood, Zoe, if you know how to read it.
He couldn't read mine. He choked on it.
I remember the flavor, though. What is that?
Bitch. It has a very bitchy musk.
You're fast, you're clever.
Current actions say otherwise.
I've sampled a spitter bouquet before, and these days, I believe you call it cancer.
Why is there like a personification of cancer in her blood? Like, I'm cancer! Ah!
This is Frank Renfield. We've been, Skyping.
You're not supposed to be online?
Well, don't you know how these things work? Terribly clever.
Why the fuck would y'all give him a tablet?
Who gave him the Wi-Fi password?
Well, it's my name.
Holy fuck, you're stupid. You're such a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, you're dumb. Dumb, dubbity dum, dubbity dum, dumb, dumb. Fuck.
See, it means she likes him because his name is the Wi-Fi password. She's got a crush on him. Oh, fuck off. The super secret organization just so happens to have the most guessable Wi-Fi password in the history of ever. Strong, independent woman, y'all. Just fucking up at every turn.
Does it bother you that the man who engaged your firm in 1896 is standing over there without a single grey hair?
Quite a lot, really. In fact, I think it's properly frightening.
Just like good writing and pacing. It's just frightening, terrifying, really.
Being well over a century old is not actually against the law. What's against the law is you locking him up. I think you might have forgotten. Count Dracula has rights.
You can hear the studio audience go,
I think you might have forgotten, Dr. Helsing. Count Dracula has rights.
I'm sending you an email.
Why does he still have the tablet? Take it away from him. Oh, and if you expect any, like, elaboration on this organization or how it works, or maybe seeing any, like, vampire killing, you're not going to.
Blood.
Yeah! Did you really expect your Dracula show to have vampire killing and vampires killing? Fucking asshole!
I shall look for the perfect fruit of this world.
Oh, Dracula's got a fuckboy laugh. Also, things just happen to set up other things. Like, it's so annoying. Like, why would Seward just leave his fucking phone out? Like, there's no lockers here?
Hello, Lucy Westenra. I'm Count Dracula.
Okay, that's a really cool fucking shot. That's a really cool visual right there. It looks like Dracula's arising from a river of blood. That is so cool! Why can't everything else on the show be that cool? Oh wow, we get a sloppy time jump. Thanks, show. It's not like I wanted to see Dracula's courtship of Lucy or anything. And really, 3 months? It took him 3 months to chew up Lucy. Like, really? He's a fucking vampire? He can glamour. You know what?
Listen, for 500 years, I've not had to exercise. But
I've never had to exercise. Yeah, you really shouldn't be at all. You don't have a cardiovascular system. The fuck? I mean, he probably does, but he's fucking dead. He doesn't use it.
But these days, everything is done for you, and everything is being delivered, even food.
He treats Tinder like other people would treat DoorDash. It's kind of funny. See, there are a few more good ideas in this than there were in the other two parts, but it's bad. Oh, even food's delivered to you. Like, it's gone to a fucking grocery store. They still exist, Dracula. You can still do things that non-self-absorbed shut-ins do. Another thing I like about this episode is it shows how Dracula can thrive in hookup culture. The vapid monotony of going from person to person, getting what sustenance you can, and moving on to the next. Okay.
Are you sure about all this?
Or what?
Marrying Quincy.
I like him.
You're supposed to love him.
What I hate about this Lucy is that she's not sympathetic at all. You just got fucking engaged and you're already sucking on somebody else. That's one of the differences between modern Lucy and 1897 Lucy. That Lucy was likable, sympathetic, despite men being all over her. She was like an innocent girl. So when she finally gets victimized by Dracula, you feel for her. This one is like, who cares? You don't care, so why should we?
Need to feed on someone, Lucy. You don't always give your consent.
I bet this one didn't.
Fast food.
As much as I like this scene, I think I'm going to skip it because it's just them talking about death. They love death. They happen upon this zombie child, and the zombie child, for some odd reason, follows her home. It's not explained why. It just happens.
Please avert your eyes. I have to murder a child.
The Planned Parenthood motto. Great makeup effects on the kid, though. But anyway, like Dracula, like he does in the original story, he sucks on Lucy, and then this is just a whole thing from there. He's a simp, and the simp is back!
It's very kind of you to come and see your old mentor.
She was his mentor. I never would have fucking guessed. Looks like he just went into work the first time we saw them together. Just don't question it. Just don't question it. There's nothing going on with these characters. They all had their own distinct personality, and you cared about them at least in the Bram Stoker's Dracula film. And in this, it's just like, oh yeah, you're Jack, you're Van Helsing. You only know them by their characters' names, but they're not the characters. You know what I'm saying?
May I come in?
I mean, technically you're already in. Yeah, you need an invitation, but you were already in the fucking house, nigga. You're supposed to be outside the window, not in the window. Not in the...
Am I dying?
You're mortal. You've been dying since the day you were born.
Okay, so why are you allergic to dying blood then, if we're all just dying? Duh. Duh. That is so fucked up. It's kind of funny, but it's also fucked up. Oh, yeah, look, we get it. Yeah, people of the generation are very vapid and they don't care about people, okay? Yeah, okay. They must have been rich as fuck. Like, look at that. Death pimping shit.
It's like I can hear her. I can feel her crying for me.
Was that supposed to be funny? Because it was!
Who are you? It's perfectly obvious who I am. So, what does Dracula fear?
She drank Dracula's blood a long fucking time ago. 3 months ago. And she's just now getting tips from her great aunt about how to kill Dracula. Huh? I mean, yeah, Dracula did say you gotta know how to read the blood, but, like, she must be a slow-ass reader. She must be dyslexic. She needs some hooked on phonics. Something.
What does he want and what does he fear? I don't know. I don't care. It's not my problem anymore.
Our hero, everybody. You gotta kill Dracula. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know. I don't care. She didn't do shit in the first 2 episodes either. And in the 3rd episode, she's even more useless. Why? Why?
I'm Sister Agatha Van Helsing of the St. Mary's Convent, Budapest, and neither of us are quite done yet.
Goodbye. Goodbye now. I'm menacingly looking out the window in this very symmetrical scene. What was the point of that? So much time wasted on bullshit when we could have been world building, getting some character development going, but, you know. Hi! Hello! When she fed on somebody, though, why didn't she, like, grow skin? Vampires are supposed to be beautiful once they, like, become vampires and, you know, eat and whatever. Don't mind us. We're just gonna go to Dracula's house without weapons or any means of fighting back. Because we just trust this centuries-old monster not to kill us instantly. Ugh.
Put him down.
Why?
This is England. Conversation precedes dinner.
He could have still killed him, though.
Now might be a good time to reflect that beauty is only skin deep.
It's only skin deep. And that bitch ain't got no skin.
Kiss me like you used to.
I mean, okay, she thinks she's beautiful in the mirror, okay, but she didn't just look down at her hand like, oh shit, I look like barbecue chicken. I mean, she doesn't have, like vision? Like, what the...
Kiss the girl, Dr. Seward.
And you don't know why, but she smell like burnt fries, you're gonna kiss the girl. I mean, she doesn't feel the pain of all the sores. Like, how did she not... Oh, that's creepy. Okay. She acts like fucking Gollum when she's not even in the reflection. In the reflection, she's like, beautiful lady. She needed a cell phone to see that she looked like Freddy Krueger's swirl hookup. Like, what? Come on.
Listen to me. Listen. Listen to me. Listen!
I mean, the acting is really good here, but I just don't care. I don't give a damn. I mean, it's like a bad stage play. I mean, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's a vampire thing. Like, barely anyone has been fucking killed.
Lucy Westerner, there has never been a day I didn't want to kiss you.
Oh god, the simpage. The simpage! Even when she looks like a fucking dinosaur turd.
That is one big pile of shit.
They're kissing, you know, so we should kiss. Yeah, what is that about? Get a good look at that crappy effect because it's the last time you'll see it. Dracula staked one of his brides, and that didn't happen. I guess they need to get to modern day times to update the CGI. I guess.
She almost seemed in love with death.
That's it. That is everything. And that's why her. Jack, you must go. I'm about to have a personal conversation with Count Dracula, and I'm certain he won't want it witnessed.
Are you guys ready for the dumbest shit you've ever seen? Sun's out, so you think that Dracula would fuck off to his coffin, but no.
Dr. Helsing, I think you drank my blood.
What the f- Oh, it never fails to be funny, but let's stop for a minute. Dracula, she can't run that fast. Why did you stop her? Dying waif bitch. Like, you could have stopped her at any point. You know you're allergic to sunlight. Well, we'll get to that. You had every opportunity to stop her right then, and you didn't. You have super speed, my nigga. You just let her do that. This is 10 times funnier because I already know why. I already know the particulars behind this.
I don't understand.
Neither do we.
Cannot bear to look in a mirror. Dracula, who won't stand revealed in the sunlight, who cannot enter a home without invitation. These aren't curses. They are merely habits that become fetishes, that become legends that even you believe.
There are several dozen fucking reasons why that logic does not work.
What are you? The warlord who skulks in the shadows and steals the lives of others, who sleeps in a box of dirt yet dreams of a warrior's grave, who suddenly found himself in thrall of a girl in love with the thing he fears the most, death.
Okay, but that whole fucking scene in the graveyard, he seems to really get off on death. He seems to be fine with it. I mean, as evidenced by everything he's fucking done throughout this whole series. And I get, okay, he wants someone who could love death. Okay, I can buy that. But you're saying that he is afraid of death. doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I remember watching Dracula recently, and the thing that carries over from Dracula into Blackula is that they are very ashamed of being undead. They want to be dead because they're living with this undead curse. They see themselves as an abomination. So why would he be afraid of death? One minute she's like, you dream of a warrior's grave. And the next second he's afraid of death. It's like, make up your fucking minds. It doesn't make any sense.
I call you ashamed. Count Dracula is ashamed.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Shuffle back to your box of dirt. The game is over. You lose. You will live forever in shame.
We live in shame. That's how he's defeated. Shame. I made you feel ashamed. You lose, I win. What? He's afraid of sunlight and shit from word of mouth. Either that or because the people he sucked on had these same beliefs. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, clever. Look at that imagery. Basically, Agatha Van Helsing beat Dracula by just calling him a pussy. You're a cock Dracula, Count Cockula. Oh, but it gets better, though. It gets a lot better.
This is a dream.
Of course it is.
Oh, now they're getting fucky. Oh.
You're drinking my blood, but my blood is deadly to you.
Yes.
So you'll die.
Oh, what is this? This is so undignified.
After all this time, did you think I'd let it hurt?
Yeah, kinda, because you're a unholy hell beast, who kills people. So yeah, that is some old horse shit. I told y'all it was gonna be bad. Are you kidding? In the first episode, he disclosed that he experiments on his brides, trying to find out what are his weaknesses through their weaknesses. They were impervious to the cross. He should have known that. They could die from stakes. We know that. Now, we don't know how his brides fared with sunlight because they cleverly kept that under wraps until the third episode. And when I mean cleverly, like not cleverly at all. He's supposed to be very experimental. He says he loves science and hates religion, of course. So why in the fuck, blood of the fearful be damned, why in the fuck has he not fucking figured out that he is impervious to sunlight until now? He would definitely test these theories out to make sure they're correct. Cause he's just that type of fucking character. That's how they set him up. And now, episode 3, they're telling us, oh, well, you sucked on these people who thought these legends were real. Therefore, you thought they were real. They depower him to uplift Agatha because Agatha's so fucking useless. Both Agathas, Seward and Lucy. I mean, Lucy, there's kind of some character there, but it's not, you don't care. You just do not fucking care. Especially with how stupid the ending was. Him and Agatha, they're together at last. They're on a bed, like in the center of the sun or some bullshit. What the hell was that? I'm sorry, but no. Part 2, baby. We finally got it out 1 year later. I finally endured this garbage again just to bring you guys some Halloween entertainment. Halloween entertainment that might be a little late. This might be in November. Yeah, but I'm gonna go to bed. It's like fucking 3 a.m. I might go into a vampire coma. See y'all in like 123 years. Peace.